Hello again. Welcome back to WIXOSS Spring Ceremony 2022. My journey through the tournament. This is round three. I'm up against Mono Blue Control, I guess. Control Aggro, something weird like that. I don't know what to call this deck because I've never seen anything like it before. I've seen the deck list of people playing things like this, but I've literally never faced one, so I have no idea what to expect. Um, so he intercharges, he grows into Umer 1. He actually plays Assault Cerberus, which I've literally never had played against me. Um, for those of you who don't know, that is a piece that lets you look at your opponent's hand, choose a, I think it's any card without guard. I don't know if it's just a Signy or not, and you force them to discard it. So he chooses my Alphard, which is I was a little bummed with. So you can see my opening hand wasn't bad. I mean, I had Servant, I had Alphard, Percival, I had a good dig, which is good. He grows into Ray, which is another discard. So now all of a sudden, a lot of my options, he discards my Gauche, which to me I was like, thank God, no something else. But he random drains me, so let's keep the discard train going. And at this point, I'm like, man, I really wish I had played um, Xenocluster because having losing all three of those cards and then being able to get them all back with the Xenocluster would have been really nice. So I discard a Percival there. I have a good dig and I have a servant in my hand left, I believe. So I wanted to keep, even though the Percival would have been nice, I wanted to keep the good dig just because that can, I know, give me more cards. And I know with my, one enter per turn plus my VJ Wolf laser, there's a decent chance I'll be able to actually play it and try to, fill up my hand and stop the bleeding here because this is already, for my deck that wants to be going super fast and having all these options and creating all this pressure, all of a sudden I am like but I feel like I'm way behind, which realistically I am. He has like stuffed my hand right now. Also, doesn't help that I only hit one on my VJ Wolf laser. So a lot of things. Oh no, I do hit two. I forgot that it can get spells there, and then kind of remembered really quickly. So I actually did manage to get two. So I play a good dig, try to stop the bleeding a little bit. He does manage to stop me before I finish, and he plays end the turn. So now all of a sudden I have like literally nothing to do. I think maybe I probably have like one card that I can do something with. But I mean, you can see like out of the gate, I was not expecting this deck to be. I mean, it feels like an extremely aggro control deck, weird mid range hybrid. Like I am like struggling to figure out what I need to do here. I have, I think, two cards in my hand. I play a servant down just to get a body. I don't remember what my other card is. It may be a servant. I don't remember. I do go in with the servant. He random drains me, which gets rid of. Oh, it's PRJ. Guess we'll find out. So he has a servant. And just to recap here, it is turn two. I have no cards in hand. I have one Signy on the board, and I have one enter. So I am like at my wits' end. I literally have no idea what to do at this point. Like it feels like there's nothing. I mean, maybe if I draw some good digs, I might be able to recover from it. But like I have been thoroughly stuffed, and it's against again having some practice against his deck may have helped in the long run. Um, but this is playing against this matchup is already so foreign to me that I have no idea what to do here. So I flip into Gauche. As I mentioned in my recap video, if that had been like a Tobiel or something, I could have vanished one of his other Signy, but unfortunately his Signy are too small. I have no cards in hand, so I can't guard it. Basically, he gets three in for free. He's frozen my Servant, so I can't even attack with. Not that I could do anything with it, feasibly anyway. So I get my two per turn. I don't remember what they are, but it's a very hard decision whether to charge. So I do have to charge the PRJ, grow into level two. Um, the other hard part too is like I would like to grow into love it, but the one Signy I have on the field can't attack because it's downed. It was frozen before. So this is really, I mean, it feels like a worst case scenario for me right now. Like I have no idea what to do. like right out of the gate, it just feels like a cannon has hit me in the face, and there's no possible way to recover from this. So I do play the Lancelot to at least, potentially get something in. Um, so I go ahead and swing in with Lancelot. The one saving grace, he ups. He was able to guard that attack. So again, I've now finished my turn two. I've done 2 total damage. Still have no cards in hand. I'm down to 4 life cloth. So, like, even though he's playing a quote unquote control deck, like, he has thoroughly out aggroed me right now because I just have no options to play anything. So I've left so many lanes open. I can't attack into anything. Even if I had the option to remove things, it wouldn't matter. Like, I still haven't played DJ Levitt Scratch just because I haven't needed, like, there has been no lane for me to attack into. He's now grown into Umar Trey, which basically disintegrates my lane, so Lancelot goes directly into the trash there. He freezes my servant once again, so now he's got a full lane, or he's got a full board here. I believe his effect, I think this is once he goes to attack. Again, there's a lot of cards in here that I've never seen before, so there's a lot of explaining and confusion on my end of what the hell's happening here. I think I'm going to have to pay to enter as soon as he goes into attack, or I lose the servant, I believe is what's happening. Because I'm like looking into playing Crossfade, which is funny because like I can't even play Crossfade because I haven't played Scratch yet. So the only option for me is like Wolf to do anything. The one saving grace that I do have at this point is he's used both of his pieces. I mean, not that there was a whole lot to do anything with, but I do know, okay, he doesn't have a team piece because team pieces are usually the biggest, most impactful. So I'm dodging that. But he still has both of his level 2 assists, which I know, like, Madoka Clap is going to be a huge problem given how far behind I already am. Um, and his I don't even remember I think his Ray is his other blue Signy. I don't even remember what his other blue Signy is, or his blue Elrig. Sorry. Yeah, it's Ray. So like, even if I do somehow manage to get out of this, because my board is completely open, I have no cards in hand. I'm way behind on life cloth. Even if I manage to like completely wipe his board, he still has 2 completely full assist Elrigs, and he's got enough cards in hand to Madoka clap me twice, that kind of thing. So it's like looking extremely bad for me right now. So I don't know what's happened. I think I'm deciding whether or not I want to play Wolf, but there's no reason for me to. So attacks come in, miss, and oh, we got amino acid, which does nothing because his Signy have already attacked. I do get a free enter charge, which is okay, but if that had hit earlier, and then I almost flipped my deck instead of my life cloth just because I'm so distraught. So I have not taken my turn 3. I have 0 life cloth left. Um, I have the 2 cards in hand that I drew for turn 1 of which I enter charged. So I don't know if this is like if his deck is just happens to be running extremely well, if this is common for this deck or not. I have no concept of what a good run for this deck is, but judging by how quickly and efficiently he like completely stopped all momentum that I conceivably would have had, um, I was just blown away. Like this was a game that I got. This is easily my worst loss of the entire tournament, and I wasn't even mad because it was like I've never seen this kind of thing happen before. So I do grow into Lion. I get 2 cards, thankfully, into my hand, so I've kind of filled up a little bit. I finally go into DJ Levitt Scratch to open a lane. Um, he still has 5 life cloth left and both of his assists, so I already know that whatever little offense I can finally muster against him, um, it's probably not going to be enough. So I have no idea what's in my hand at this point. It's all cards that I freshly drew this turn. So this one of the nice things about Lion level 3 is that she does fill your hand back up. So I mentioned this in previous video. It's like regardless of how bad you're doing in the game, as soon as you grow into level 3, you'll get 2 cards. I mean, you get the 2 cards per turn, but then you'll get a selection of 2 out of your best top 4. So you can really have more better options to kind of potentially swing the game around in your favor. So I'm looking through my options, trying to figure out what to do here. trying to figure out what his cards even do. Like, what is he even playing? What do I need to look out for? I'm like completely lost right now. I think I'm trying to figure out like which Signies do which things in terms of freezing. Like, where do I need to play my PRJs? Where do I need to play whatever else I'm going to play? I do opt to use the PRJ. This is a situation I mentioned before that I don't like to use PRJ a lot, but this is one that absolutely makes sense just because of how starved my hand is. I do actually manage to pull an Alphard out of it, which is excellent, and I do pull a good dig, which it looks like I might be choosing to play here. Oh, that looks like a Lancelot. Trying to decide what lane to put it in. So he's got 5 cloth. Um, with my punchline, I can potentially get 3 out of him. Um, but again, I do really need to put some pressure on him. So ultimately, the question here, I believe, is do I grow into crossfade? Because he's got 5 cloth left. Conceivably, what I could do is grow into crossfade, crush a cloth, put him at 4, which potentially would be lethal. It would force him to use one of his assists, which isn't the end of the world, I guess, but it would just trying to get something going. What I opt to do instead here, again, this is just general inexperience playing against his deck, is like I said, I can choose a crossfade for 6 enter. What I choose to do instead is start digging. So I play a dig. I believe I'm going to play a second dig here. Because my theory was knowing that he's still got 2 assists on deck, there's even if I like I said, if I clear his board, there's no way I can kill him this turn. So I need to survive another turn. So I basically, yep, there it is. I basically dig into dig to try and get servants. Because I don't expect him to be able to really clear my board super well. I know there's some issues with he can do like freezing stuff and stuff like that, but I know I absolutely need at least 1 guard to protect against the Elrig attack. So what I'm doing is I'm digging partially to, again, fuel the punchline just to make sure I hit it. But I also really want to get servants because if I can survive 1 more turn, then I can potentially win. So that's basically what I opt to do as opposed to crossfade to crush his cloth. So I do that. I think I have 2 servants in my hand at this point. So the attacks come in. PRJ crushes something. Lancelot, I don't know what that card is. I think that's going to freeze something potentially. Again, not super familiar. Or maybe it's making me discard a card, or it looked like it had a life burst. That's not a card. Again, basically his entire deck is cards that I'm not familiar with, so I apologize. I opt to attack with Zhao. I mentioned that I should have done that first before I attacked with everything else, but I was so thrown off by everything he's got that I was just like, oh my god, damage. I've never done damage in this before. So, punchline coming in. He's got 3 cloth left, so he knows no matter what, this can't kill him. I do manage to flip a PRJ, so we finally successfully landed a punchline for the first time this tournament. It's probably going to be a little too late. He does hit a life burst, which freezes my Zhao, and I think that one. I don't know if it's the same one. No. So I don't know exactly what effects have done what, but I do know he's my Zhao, my PRJ, and my Lion are all frozen right now. So that's why I was like, just to be clear, what's frozen, what's not frozen. Um, so I managed to get him down to 0, which is I guess something. But I have no life cloth. I do have 2 guards in my hand, and I have a full board. So basically, I'm like, okay, if I can just survive, if my Signy can stay intact, and he doesn't disrupt my hand enough, I can still manage to make my way through this game. So he has a ton of enter though. Looking at it now, I didn't notice it. Again, so many things going wrong that I just didn't see what he had out on his side of the board, that he has so much enter. So he goes into Ray, which is going to force me to discard. I think I have 4 cards in hand right now. I know I have 2 servants in my hand. Yeah, I have 4 cards. So he hits one of them, and he hits, I think it's a Zhao. So I know I still do have a servant. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just done with that, and I'll just keep my servant, and we'll all be good. So he's now frozen my Lancelot. So literally everything I own is frozen, except I guess my assists. But I don't think freezing them necessarily does anything. He has discarded both of the two remaining cards in my hand. So there goes my second servant. So now at this point, I know I'm dead because I have no servants. And I'm sure he probably knows it too. But again, play it out to play it out. Play your best, optimize your turns as much as you can. He grows into um, I don't know what that assist is. Oh, that's the one that returns to the bottom. Yep. So now I'm like super triple dead at this point because he's throwing all my Signy to the bottom of the deck. At this point, it doesn't matter. Like this, it felt like this game was over after turn one, which is crazy to think about. I do grow into crossfade just again for pride's sake, but swings in with the Signy. I have no guards anyway, so it didn't matter. So good game. Um, this was a wild one. This one really opened my eyes to potential power of like dream teams. I hadn't really experimented a whole lot with dream teams, but seeing how well this one performed kind of gave me some ideas for making dream teams and the viability of dream teams. Um, Not only that, but the fact that I missed so many punchlines, like part of the appeal to me of the actual team, the diva teams, is that the team pieces are so strong. Like endless punchline is basically two free crushes of life cloth, essentially. If you kind of strip away the details, right? If endless punchline hits, it's two free damage. That's all it is. Glory Grow is kind of similar, where if you play Glory Grow, you're getting double crush and no guard. So you get one extra damage than you normally would, but the fact that they can't guard it, it's kind of like one and a half, I guess. I don't know. Basically, the point is most of the team pieces like give you an extra crush. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if I have these pieces, I will be doing more damage. But he played two really good support pieces that he could play early on, which ended up really disrupting my entire game plan and the flow of everything that I was used to playing because there's a kind of a tempo you sort of get into it. You play your turn ones or turn twos. There's not a whole lot of things that change matchup to matchup. In this matchup in particular, there was nothing I could do. The fact that he didn't have a powerful team piece didn't matter because he set me so far back with the support pieces that he did use that there was nothing I could do about it. So big props. His username is Youyii. I recommend, I don't know if he's got a YouTube or anything like that. I'll post the spelling of it in the description if it's not in the title because this deck is a spicy one. I believe he got 25th overall, and it was a good one, man. I look forward to seeing if he's got more stuff in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching. Unfortunately, my round four video was the one where it got corrupted. So that was my matchup against at Umer Lovett. It was another dream team. Unfortunately, I don't have the recording for that one, so we will have to skip that and move on to round five. But anyway, it's enough rambling on for now. I'll see y'all in the next one.